So I'm going to talk today about design, and specifically I'm going to talk about shoes, which is kind of weird because this is a fintech meetup, but I swear I'm going to bring it back, and it's all going to make sense in the end. At least that's my hypothesis. I'm being agile. All right. So what I want to talk about is design thinking for financial entrepreneurs. I'd imagine a lot of you here are entrepreneurs or would like to become so soon. And I want to share a little bit about my story and how design really helped me to achieve at least the chance to pursue my dreams. So design changed my life. I want to be clear from the start, though, that I'm not a designer. I don't pretend to be, but I got a little bit better at design than the average investment banker or business school kid would be. And that's what really unlocked my career and my ability to pursue what I want. So first, a little bit about who the flip am I. Am I allowed to say fuck? I don't know. I can, okay. So yeah, I went to the Ivy School of Business. I went in thinking I was going to do marketing, emerged doing investment banking, like so many young, bright people do. I did that for a bit, and then I decided to leave and do my own startup. And I knew absolutely nothing about startups or technology, but I thought I did. So an angel round later, and a bunch of pain and misery, I found myself face down in a puddle of failure, essentially. So what I did is I was sitting on my couch for months at a time, and I just started to play around with design. I got Sketch on my computer. I started to remake websites that I liked. Like Airbnb's website looks cool. Like I always started to make it. And then I started to make mock-ups of my own apps. Most of the ideas were stupid. Actually, all of them were. But that doesn't matter. The fact is that I did it. And I started to learn about what makes web design and what makes a good product. And how can I communicate these ideas I had in my head visually to other people. And then fast forward about a year ago today, basically, I got together with two co-founders. We recognized a huge opportunity to change the way that businesses buy and manage group benefits in HR in Canada. We incorporated on February 1st, which is my birthday. I hope you'll remember that. Of last year, we got our first term sheet on April 15th, and we closed a very large seed round May 18th. Of this year, which is lightning fast. Our round isn't announced yet. Our partner is Power Financial, but we have the best partners in the world, building a super cool business. We built a team of 15, like I'm trying not to be hyperbolic when I say this, but like people that are an absolute joy to work with and are amazing at their jobs. And I get to basically, I have like the best life ever. I get to pursue my dreams, and that's basically all because I took this shift from being the business guy who, convinced people with logic to convincing people with design. So yeah, this is Collage. I'm not going to tell you too much about that today because I don't think that's the point of this meetup. But in case you have HR benefits needs, give me a shout. But yeah, and also like why is an HR company at a fintech meetup? What we're doing is really changing the way that people buy and manage group benefits, which is a huge sector of like financial products in Canada. It's hugely important, and we're working with a bunch of insurance companies to really make a huge change for a little tiny company. So we have some really cool experience on that side. But again, what I want to share with you is that design is really the ability to evoke a feeling. So I can create, a PowerPoint in Helvetica or whatever, and it has all the bullet points, and it's very consultancy, and it has the best ideas in the world, but there's lots of good ideas out there, and there's lots of really good advice out there. So that's not really unique. What's unique is the ability to get people on board with your vision, and to get people to really care about what you're doing in a way that they can't even really explain themselves. It's not about what you say, it's how you make them feel in sales and in startups and in building a brand. And I think this has huge implications in fintech, and I'm going to show you why, but first I'm going to tell about some comfortable shoes. Or at least I think they're comfortable. I don't have them yet. They don't deliver to Canada. But Tuesday of this week, I found out about a company called Allbirds. They make these wool shoes that look like cool runners, and I desperately wanted a pair. Like I found the website, and I was like, oh my god, these have to be on my feet now. But they don't ship to Canada, so I'm going to figure that out. But along the way, I was like, oh my god, this company just totally rocked my brain with design. Because how many pairs of shoes have I seen in my life? Like thousands and thousands. Why do I want this pair? So I want to do a case study, and I hope no one from Walking on a Cloud is here, so I'm not going to offend them. But I'm going to show you what Walking on a Cloud does to sell shoes versus what Allbirds does, and then I'm going to apply it to fintech. So this is Walking on a Cloud's landing page. I don't really have to tell you why this isn't great. I think you just know, right? Like it's cluttered. It's not appealing. Like why is there a scarf in front of the picture, and like the spacing's terrible, and their logo looks like a bun. looks like a chef's hat or something. Like, it just, nothing makes sense, but their brand is literally, we sell comfortable shoes. So I was like, no, I don't want to buy them. Even though I checked out this product, which is a sweet shoe, and it's ludicrously expensive. But I would just never do it. Like, half the page is dedicated to cross-selling me like shoe protector, which everyone knows is a scam. And there's really nothing about any of this that is telling me about the product or pulling me in and making me care about this. So that, they're just not doing a great job. But then you look at Allbirds' site. It's pretty nice, eh? It's clean. Look at that shoe. It's majestic. It's like running. You can almost taste. You can lick the fabric. Like, it jumps out at you. And there's really not much going on here. It's simple. They just have a nice logo. You can imagine it's really easy to click through and choose your size. And there's lots of little tiny details in this page, even though it's quite simple, that make me think that they're a good company. And if you scroll down, instead of just seeing related products, they're like, where will you roam? They ask, this is our brand. Like, we are the bedrock of adventure. We're your shoes. And then subtly, they show you how to use it. You can wear it with pants. You can wear it with shorts. And then they show you the sheep, because their shoes are made of wool. So they want to connect you with, we're an authentic brand that from sheep to foot, this is what we do. And this is the better way of doing shoes. And you look at this sheep and you look him in the face and you're like, I want to pet him. It's an emotional experience. And then further down, instead of a spec page, they actually break out the product into beautiful photography and say, here's the wool upper, here's the padded insole and why you should care about it and how you can order more. And I would never read the specs on a shoe, but I want to look at this thing. And this is all coming from visual design. My guess is the shoes might not even be that special, but I think they are, and I'm telling you all about it. They're not paying me, although they should. So what does this mean for fintech? It's just shoes. So I think what all these things can be boiled down to 3 key things that you need to accomplish as a fintech startup, which is trust, which is helping your customers to understand your product, and then also connecting with them. So trust. This has come up 5 times tonight already. How does a big bank trust you as a startup? How do you get your first in? And even if you're going direct to consumer, financial decisions are scary. So why would a customer use you if you're an automated investing platform, for instance, instead of a bank service or a broker? Because this is one of the biggest decisions they can make. And there's lots of things that go into it, but all the SSL certificates in the world aren't going to solve the problem that they don't get a sense of trust from your brand and from your product experience. So if you do a really great job of visual design and also user experience design, every little tiny interaction with your product and with your brand is going to subtly communicate to them that you're a company worth doing business with, and they take care of the details. Just look at this page again. Do you have any doubt in your mind that this shoe is not going to arrive in your doorstep and be exactly what they promised? I don't. And I think that you can have the same experience as a fintech company by implementing great design. Number 2 is understanding. The reason that brokers and advisors and most of the financial services industry exists is because financial products are complex and they're hard for the average person to understand. But by using design and using visual design combined with really intelligent just experience design, you can really break down the barriers and help people to understand your product to the point where maybe they can buy directly through digital channels instead of talking to a person. And that's what we do at Collage is we're really breaking down that benefits process, which I personally hate. I run a benefits company and I barely even know how to manage benefits. And we're distilling that down into something that the average person can understand a plan, select it, buy it, and have the right services for their employees. So yeah, use design to simplify and communicate. Show them your wool upper. Help them feel your padded insole, which is actually kind of dirty, but sorry about that. But yeah, break it out. You make it interesting for them to understand this product that might not be interesting in other circumstances. And then finally, connection. So choosing a fintech company or a fintech product is a really long-term relationship. It's like entering into a long-term relationship with a human. You're probably going to stay with it for a long time. It really matters to your family and your life and things that are important for you. So as a company, if you're selling fintech services, don't be so sterile. Don't be like the banks because you want to seem like a big institution so that people will trust you. Be authentic and try and, again, use visual design to communicate that just through a web browser, which is the challenge. So just like Allbirds, bond with a sheep. What's your sheep? How can you draw people into your mission and your authentic purpose for existing in a way without ever talking to someone. So try and find a way to do that with design. A real company that's doing that well is Simple. I'm not promoting them, but they've really embedded this into their brand, right? They're building a company for a certain sector of people, and they're using real photos and vibrant colors, and they're saying, we're different, we're built for you, we understand you. And I think it's tremendously effective. So key takeaway for tonight is just get a bit better at design, right? I'm not a designer. I didn't create our brand at Collage, but we've hired amazing design people that want to work at our company because as a founding team, we care about it. We want it to be in every step of the way through our product and through our customer experience. And I think our customers care about it, our investors care about it, the insurance companies that we work with care about it. It's really at the core of it. It unlocks everything that we do. And personally, for me, in my career, it's unlocked my ability to go from a bum investment banker to actually doing something meaningful that I fully enjoy. So with that, that's the end of my talk. I hope it was relevant, and I'll take some questions. Over there.
What is a tactical thing that everyone in the room, or some resource that you would recommend that they look at to get a little bit better at design?
So the question is, what's a tactical thing that everyone in the room could do to get better at design? Luckily, design's one of the things that you can really learn yourself on the internet. There's tons of resources. So buy Sketch, and if we're talking about product design, buy a copy of Sketch. It's $100. It's amazing software. Get some tutorials on lynda.com or on, get it from InVision. They have lots of tutorials on YouTube. They're not hard to find. Just Google it, and then just start building things. Get a simple website you like and recreate it. And that's how I started, and that's what I continue to do to try and get better. It's a long process to get really good at it, but with a little bit of effort, I think you can have a huge payoff in terms of your ability to think in design terms. All right, I know I'm batting clean up, so I think we'll call it there, and thanks a lot for having me.